everyone, we've come to South Forbes to check out the all-new Hyundai Stargazer. And now let's take a look at the exterior of this car. And over at the front, you have this beautiful, wide, really wide LED DRLs. You have this big headlight assembly down below. These are also LED headlights, but your turn signals and your fog lights are all made out of halogens. Black chrome grille as well that gives it a very spaceship and futuristic look. Over at the side of the car, you get 16-inch two-tone rims wrapped in Kumho tires too. And if you notice, just to break up the MPV monotony of this car, there are a couple of lines right here provided by Hyundai. Also, if you look at your wing mirrors, you also get repeaters on them, and this even comes with blind spot detection. Over at the back, the futuristic look continues. This light bar really connects these two taillights as well, and what I love here is that instead of spelling out Hyundai for you like a lot of brands nowadays, they do spell out Stargazer for you. Open up this tailgate, and unfortunately it is not powered, but over here you have ample space to put a couple of soft bags if you do raise up those third row seats. But if you do fold them down, you can put so much things in here, and there is even a false floor that is quite big because your spare tire is not located over here. Instead, it is under the car. Powering the Hyundai Stargazer is a 1.5 liter engine that is also found inside the Hyundai Creta. This one right here pumps out 114 horsepower and 144 newton meters of torque. And no, it does not come with a 4-speed automatic. Instead, it comes with a CVT transmission, which I'm sure, or at least I hope, will improve fuel economy. Inside the Hyundai Stargazer, we check the door first. No, I will not give it a verdict. Wait for the full review. Anyway, the interior of this car, it is covered in a lot of hard touch plastic, but I really love the horizontal and also curved design of it. You get so much cubbies in here, including this one right above your dashboard, this secret cubby capable of storing a couple of phones, and also this is giant horizontal cubby for way more phones. Down below is a wireless charging pad, 2 cup holders which are also illuminated. Then over at the side, you even get more bottle holders. The steering wheel is leather wrapped with so much things going on right here. Why is that so? That is because this car does come with ADAS features, including lane departure warning, among others. You get a partially digital instrument cluster and also an 8-inch screen by the center, and comes with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. Now, if you take a look at the seats, they are covered in artificial leather, plus it is also perforated. For adjustments, you get plenty of it up and down for the seats. You can also slide it, of course, and even your steering wheel is tilt and telescoping. Your shifter is quite regular, but it does have manual mode, and you also have drive modes in this car. Plus, you can also turn off your traction control. Over at the back, you get ample space. No, in fact, you get more than ample space back here because legroom is great and so is headroom. You get a couple of map pockets right here, including pockets to put phones and wallets as well. And over at the passenger side, you do get this tray table, which feels pretty rigid, and it can even hold 3.5 kilograms. What other toys do you get back here? You get your own blower with 4 vents on it, a giant cup holder by the door, which I think it can even store a venti cup from Starbucks, 2 charging ports, USB-A, another cubby right here, and also a center armrest. Plus, you can also slide these seats forwards and backwards, plus they also recline. But don't forget that the all-new Hyundai Stargazer comes with third rows for seating because this is a 7-seater MPV after all. And over at the back, if you are 5'6" or below, you're gonna have great legroom, or at least adequate legroom. If you're a bit taller, yeah, maybe you will kind of struggle a bit, but don't worry because you can always slide these second row seats forward. Now we get to do a mini driving impressions of the all-new Hyundai Stargazer. And first and foremost, we do have to talk about the noise insulation and refinement that this car gives you. Now, a lot of the cars in this segment, they are a little bit they're a bit noisy, and there is a significant amount of feelable vibrations. But with this one, it is quite refined. You don't feel that much of the vibrations, and noise doesn't really enter into the cabin. Granted, we are in a closed subdivision right here, and the roads are rather well maintained, but I think with these tires right here, even if you do put it out on the open road, it will still prove to be rather refined. Yet another great addition to the all-new Hyundai Stargazer is the addition of a CVT transmission. There is only a slight rubber banding effect, and it doesn't really have those feelable shift points, but nonetheless, if you compare it to its other competitors with 4 or 5-speed automatic transmissions, the conventional ones, this feels a lot more responsive, and it also feels a lot more modern. Next up, the driving modes in this car does include Eco, Normal, Sport, and Smart mode. If you put it into the sport mode, well, throttle response is actually quite excellent for a car in this class. Also, since you do have some extra power compared to its competitors, it is rather sprightly. It can really catch up to faster cars out there in the open road. But if you do put this car into the more economical settings, such as Eco, Normal, and Smart mode, well, your steering lightens up so much and your throttle response gets a little bit laggy, but the trade-off for that is that you get to drive it in a more comfortable pace without it being very jerky. In line with that steering system that is adjustable because of the electronic power assisted steering in this car, if you do put it into the sport mode, well, it does tighten up a lot. And with that tighten, gives you also a little bit more feedback. But just because it has a little bit of feedback for your front tires doesn't mean that you can drive this car spiritedly, because it still is an MPV with significant amounts of body roll. However, the body roll is not significant enough for you and your passengers to throw up if you do drive this car over twisty roads. Now, I don't have the fuel economy figures for this car yet, and I also don't have the pricing yet, but do stay tuned for the full review coming out very soon. Also, do stay tuned for the launch of the all-new Hyundai Stargazer in the Philippines sometime next month, and I am quite excited for that, and I hope you would be too.